Headline, Politico. She may very well hold the key to Biden's win. Oh my gosh. Do you think, Politico? Do you remember that time when Politico announced the vice presidential pick for Joe Biden like weeks early, and then they had to make an apology for it and pretend like they didn't have pre-knowledge of his pick, and then like a couple of weeks later it turned out it was her, and Politico was just trying to cover up for the fact that they were colluding with the Biden campaign? Man, that was funny. July 29th, 2020. Politico accidentally reports Biden chose Harris as running mate. Quote, "We regret the error and any confusion." Politico issued an apology for reporting that presumptive Democrat presidential nominee Joe Biden had chosen Senator Kamala Harris to be his running mate, with the publication saying it regretted, quote, "the error and any confusion that it caused." Quote, "Joe Biden chose Kamala Harris to become his running mate for the 2020 election on August 1st, 2 weeks before the Democrat National Convention, after keeping his choice close to the chest for months," Politico wrote in a now-deleted report. In his announcement, Biden calls Harris a worthy opponent and a worthy running mate, alluding to the pair's rivalry during the earlier stages of the Democratic primary. She will bring her experience as a prosecutor, household name recognition, and skill as a debater to the ticket, the news media added. The report was deleted after being flagged on Tuesday by Mark Bednar, who serves as the spokesman for the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Huh? Politico labeled Senator Kamala Harris as Biden's running mate that he chose on August 1st, 4 days from now. Interesting. So on July 28th, Politico knew that Kamala Harris was going to be VP. And remember, it was Politico that said, after keeping his pick close to the chest for months. Really? Really? Ugh. And of course, Politico just announced that that was a placeholder, and it's a perfectly logical explanation for why that information came out, and then that happened to be Biden's pick for VP. And now everyone will come out and say, you know, it was never really going to be anybody else but Kamala Harris, even though it definitely was. I mean, is anybody else getting tired of having to ignore the fact that the Democrat Party and the media are working together in collusion? I mean, it's funny because people just turned it off. But it's very surprising to me, these channels, they're getting no views. CNN, now that there's nobody watching in airports, nobody's watching these channels, nobody's reading these articles, and yet they just keep going on with this collusion. It has caused a literal fork in reality, where you have people who live in the world and you have people who live in this matrix created by propaganda, because there's literally no media anymore that is not propaganda. There was a time in America, I remember, when people used to make fun of the Russians believing their media. People don't make that joke anymore. Hell, RT tell you the truth more often than ours. Think about that. Well, anyways, throw Politico onto the garbage heap, because unless you guys want to believe this was an accident, they just happened to predict Kamala Harris, and they just happened to release it when Biden first announced that he was going to release the name. Because keep in mind, he was going to make the announcement that day, and it pushed. This is crazy. Ed from The Outer Light calls it Mirror World. It's Mirror World. Matt from Quantum of Conscious calls it the Not Nilk. It's the Not Nilk. It is the Matrix. And it's insane. Alright guys, like, share, sub the channel. Kamala Harris is the VP. What do you guys think about that? leave a comment in the comment section. Do I even need to go through her mess? If I do, I will. But I'm pretty sure everybody knows it. Anyways, like, share, sub. I'll talk to y'all later.